BP is attempting this weekend to replace one cap with a more secure cap, but right now the oil is spilling into the Gulf unabated. Is the president worried? Is he watching what's going on in the Gulf right now, this weekend, and is he worried it's not going to work?
Well, he's been fully briefed on a daily and more than daily basis on this, and our scientists have met and at some length with BP and their technicians and scientists on this, and we have confidence that this is the right decision, because once this cap is on, we believe it'll allow the capacity to collect all the oil that's leaking, and it'll make it easier to kill the well when those relief wells are completed in August. So there is some short-term back step here in order to get a much more secure situation.
So he's confident it will work?
Well, yes, we have every reason to believe that this will work. This is obviously uncharted waters. Everything about this is uncharted waters, no pun intended. So, but we think there is a very, very good chance that this will provide the kind of relief that we need.
This week, the president recess appointed Dr. Don Berwick as administrator of the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, responsible for roughly $800 billion in health care spending. Republicans had wanted to give Berwick a hearing, and the Democratic chairman of the Senate Finance Committee, Max Baucus, said in a statement, quote, "Senate confirmation of presidential appointees is an essential process prescribed by the Constitution that serves as a check on executive power and protects Montanans and all Americans by ensuring that crucial questions are asked of the nominee and answered." Aren't you setting the stage for a future Republican president to bypass the Senate's constitutional requirement of advising consent just because that future Republican president doesn't want a political fight, which seems to be the reason why you guys recess appointed Don Berwick? He could have had a hearing. You didn't want one.
Jake, you're a student of history, so you know that recess appointments have been a part of administrations, Republican and Democrat, for a very long time.
Yeah, but not because you want to avoid a hearing, usually because there's some other reason.
No, look, the hearing is not the issue. The issue is that we've had nominees who've had hearings and then have waited months and months and months for a vote. And the fact is that the Republican Party has made it a policy in the United States Senate to hold up.
I grant you all of that. I grant you all of that, but that's not Berwick.
But this is too important. This position is too important in the midst of implementing health reform. It is too important to allow that kind of game playing to go on, and the president needed to act, put someone in place, and get policies in place that will make the reform a success.
Republicans were not delaying. Grassley wanted a hearing 2 weeks ago. The only game playing you could say is that they were maybe going to attack him.
The delays haven't occurred in the hearings. The delays have occurred after the hearing. In the first year of our administration, the Senate had to invoke cloture, in other words, to stop filibusters, 21 times.
Right, I got it.
21 times. That didn't happen once under the Bush administration.
I grant you all of that, but this one case, there wasn't even a hearing. You didn't want to have a hearing because he was going to be attacked.
We wanted to move because we needed someone in place, and we knew that the plan on the other side was to draw this out, and we simply felt, given the gravity of the situation we face, understand that Dr. Berwick is widely and highly regarded. Mark McClellan, who had this position under George Bush.
Thomas Scully.
Mr. Scully, yes.
Sure.
The American Medical Association, the American Hospital Association, the AARP, who has more than a passing interest in how the Medicare program is administered, have all warmly endorsed his candidacy. And there is no question about his credentials or his preparedness or the desirability of having him there. But what we don't want in the midst of an election is to let this be drawn out in a long kind of political circus while the job that needs to be done is not getting done, or not getting done with a man who should be doing it.
All right, we're running out of time, so I only have a couple questions. In Afghanistan, the U.S. plan, supported by General David Petraeus, is to empower local village defense forces. President Hamid Karzai has expressed serious concerns about this, fearing it's going to lead to village militias. Will the White House intervene, or is this just Petraeus' show to run?
Well, look, Petraeus I think he met 4 times with President Karzai last week, and he will work this through with him. Obviously, we want to work in partnership with the government there, and I think these issues will be resolved. Ultimately, we want to create a situation where the Taliban is not insurgency is not on the upswing in these communities, and we want to take the steps that are necessary to stop it. And I think both the Afghan government and the United States has an interest in that.
Last question. It appears from the Blagojevich trial this week that the White House's version of what discussions occurred may conflict with the testimony of the SEIU's Tom Balanoff. Balanoff said that the president told him that Valerie Jarrett wanted to be a senator, and Balanoff told the president he would talk to Blagojevich. Did the president, is that testimony correct?
I'm not going to comment on testimony, but if you go back and look at the report that Greg Craig put out in December of 2008 for the administration, or the soon-to-be administration, he acknowledged that the president spoke to people within his staff and to people outside.
But it doesn't say that he spoke to somebody about how Valerie Jarrett met the qualifications and would be interested in being a senator.
Look,
it was incomplete at the very least.
Again, I don't want to comment on but what nobody seems to disagree on is that the president wanted to bring Valerie Jarrett here to the White House.
And Balanoff said that too, absolutely.
And that no offers were made in order to promote her candidacy and so on. And those are the essential facts that I think people want to know and need to know.
All right, David Axelrod, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.